If you are a Bitcoin investor, then the last few days must have been nerve-wracking for you. But don't worry, because the worst has passed. Keep on looking forward, because this year might bring the biggest Bitcoin price explosion ever. There is no doubt that Bitcoin has had a rough week. It dropped about 12% since last Thursday, largely during a savage weekend sell-off. Although BTC now appears to be holding steady at around $55,000, it seems like time to ask the hard question. Is BTC's epic bull run, which saw it rise more than 700% since last April, over? When will Bitcoin bounce back? And what is the biggest Bitcoin price prediction for the year 2021? Hey guys, and welcome back to Investing Few. If you are new to this channel, please like, subscribe, and press the bell icon to get new video updates. Make sure to do so if you want all the latest news on cryptocurrency. In today's video, I will break down everything that you should know about the Bitcoin crash. What were the major reasons behind this crash, and why do experts think Bitcoin crash is over? Also, make sure to watch this video till the end, because I will reveal the massive 100K Bitcoin price prediction of the year. So, without delaying the inevitable, let's jump right into today's video. The Bitcoin crash and its outcomes. Last weekend, Bitcoin suffered what the press are calling a flash crash. Top to bottom, it pulled back around 16% over the last 5 days. The current leg down began after reports broke that President Joe Biden might propose sharply higher capital gains tax rates, causing risky assets, including stocks and Bitcoin, to slump. But where stocks seemed to have found a floor Friday morning, Bitcoin continued falling. For someone who made a mint in crypto, this might feel like a good time to take the money and run. Bitcoin isn't alone in its suffering. Ethereum, the second largest cryptocurrency by total market value, was down more than 5% on Friday and off about 8% for the week. DOGECOIN, a favorite of Tesla CEO Elon Musk, was also down about 9% Friday and 45% for the week. Polkadot was down about 11% Friday and 30% for the week. There is carnage all over the crypto market. But this is not the first time this sort of crash has happened, and definitely not the last time. Let's do a quick trip down memory lane. From June to November of 2011, Bitcoin lost 93%. In August of 2012, it crashed 57%. In April of 2013, down 87%. From December 2013 through January 2015, it plunged 85%. From December 2017 through December of 2018, it lost 84%. As recently as last year, it crashed 52% from February through March. And yet, early investors are still up thousands of percent. Now, yes, Bitcoin and the crypto world are going mainstream. And as this continues, over time, it will reduce Bitcoin's volatility. So, what will be the outcome of Bitcoin crash, and what can you expect from Bitcoin in coming months? Let's find out. What are the consequences of Bitcoin crash? Bitcoin saw a crash in its price recently, but many experts share this view that such crashes are not a big problem for a massive cryptocurrency like Bitcoin. Investors who fully understand why they're investing, those who see the big picture, and who can distinguish between a short-term speed bump versus a real, significant problem, either ignore temporary price weakness or use it to increase their position size. It's hard to say exactly how many investors own Bitcoin today, but according to data from BitInfo and Glassnode, the number of people engaging in daily Bitcoin transactions jumped from average of 600 to 700,000 in January of 2020 to about 1 million per day by last November. This number is likely to have surged in the months since. How many of these people have seen a major Bitcoin wipeout? If they've jumped into the crypto purely to capitalize on a major uptrend, without a long-term belief in the sector, how quickly will they sell when they get caught up in a major downtrend? The more these weak-hand investors sell during a crash, the more downward pressure it will have on market prices, sucking in other weak-hand investors who sell, further intensifying the crash. It's a self-perpetuating downward spiral. It's time to prepare for this. After all, what goes up fast can come down even faster. Despite the recent crash, Bitcoin has still experienced a very strong 2021. Its value still stands at almost double where it started the year, and its price is 640% up on this time last year. In fact, experts think this week's plunge is part of the normal evolution in what is a longer-term bull market, and expect the Bitcoin price to eventually rebound far beyond its recent high and potentially climbing to over $400,000. Incredible, right? So, what is expected price prediction for 2021? Let's find out. What could happen next? When it comes to Bitcoin, the question on everyone's mind is usually, will the price go up? Celebrity investors like Chamath Palihapitiya and Mike Novogratz tell anyone who is willing to listen that Bitcoin will inevitably exceed $100,000 per unit in value. Other Bitcoin advocates claim the price is rising to infinity, or a global market cap of $100 trillion. It's a popular message, signaling to people that they can get rich merely by buying and holding onto something that banks and governments don't control for enough time for the price to rise. In my opinion, it's quite likely that the dollar-denominated price of Bitcoin will eventually reach $100,000. Let me explain my reasoning behind that forecast. It is not because, as advocates often claim, it is inevitable that Bitcoin will become the world's next reserve currency, dethroning the American dollar. Rather, from my perspective, there are now too many wealthy and powerful people invested in Bitcoin for the crypto circus to stop short of $100,000, even if that valuation isn't sustainable in the long run. Regardless of whether Bitcoin continues to serve as a censorship-resistant money, which it does for a minority of users, there will still be people who benefit from selling that narrative to increase the value of their own holdings. Stepping back, Bitcoin's price tends to skyrocket in repetitive 4-year cycles. Anyone who purchased Bitcoin and held onto it for at least 4 years witnessed shockingly high appreciation, no matter what price they bought it at. For example, the price went from roughly $964 in December 2013 to more than $19,000 by December 2017. The way this cycle seems to work is that the price reaches new all-time highs for several months, then plummets to half the price as the hype cycle corrects itself, and the skeptical newbies, drawn by the promise of risk-free riches, cash out. People who gained life-changing amounts of wealth from Bitcoin rarely did it quickly. It required patience. You may have noticed I kept saying dollar-denominated value. Since one Bitcoin today is still just one Bitcoin from years past, someone may sell a single Bitcoin for $600 or $60,000, the most recent high in 2021. But ultimately, the value of Bitcoin is determined by supply and demand, not the American Federal Reserve. Bitcoin routinely sells at a premium in places like South Korea, Argentina, and Hong Kong, and prices have more to do with local politics than with the American dollar. Bitcoin is worth whatever the buyer is willing to pay for it, across asset classes. We may someday say assets are worth 100 satoshis, rather than dollars as the unit of account. It's impossible to predict how many dollars Bitcoin would be worth in that context. Since we've seen the fiat price of Bitcoin double several times over the past decade, it seems reasonable to expect it to double at least once more in the future. And that brings us to the conclusion of today's video. Undoubtedly, over the past 2 months, the number of BTC tokens held on exchanges dropped from 3.02 to 2.41 million. The 20% reduction indicates that users are storing their holdings off centralized entities. This market behavior suggests that investors are bullish on Bitcoin price and do not care about the short-term volatility. All in all, the current Bitcoin price drop is concerning, no doubt. However, the massive inflow of institutional capital into the space, combined with a large number of publicly traded companies adding BTC to their treasuries, proves that the long-term narrative remains bullish. And with that, we come to the end of today's video. What do you think about this Bitcoin crash? And what do you think will be the outcome of it in the long run? Tell us in the comment section below. Also, drop your suggestions or feedback for the upcoming videos. And make sure to give this video a huge thumbs up if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching.